Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And if you don't know, I published a video on Saturday called The Most Important Video. It was essentially the lumberjack landlord and I talking about his portfolio, how he took a duplex that he and his wife house hacked that started with $15,000 and how over the course of time, he did a cash out refi, ultimately leaving that as house hack, renting it, and then buying additional duplexes with the money that how that $15K investment turned into, I think it was $195,000 at the end. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to give you a flavor of our story, right? The lumberjack story starts in 2010. Our story starts in 2002. Our story starts before the crash. You've heard me talk about Norris Drive. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to talk about that one deal, how Norris Drive went from being our first purchase, how it became an alligator, how we 1031'd, and basically what happened to that first $20,000. I wrote about it in the book, One Rental at a Time, that one over my shoulder. If I haven't asked already, let me do that today. If you haven't left a 5-star review on Amazon, could you do that for me? We're not quite averaging a 5-star anymore. We need a few more, 3 or 4 more 5-star reviews. It would be very, very helpful. If you can do that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. But back to this video. I want to follow the money. I want to look at this first $20,000 and kind of see where it sits today, right? We start this in, I think it's December 2002. What has that $20,000 turned into? So I did my best to build a PowerPoint that kind of shows the story. Again, what you're going to see here is the importance of recycling capital. You'll see the importance of time in market versus timing the market. So again, I'm going to call this following the money or AKA recycling capital. So here it is. You have seen it, me talk about it. If you haven't seen me do it, here it is. I bought Norris Drive on December 11th, 2002. That is my purchase on the far right of the screen at the bottom. It also happens to show the day I sold it almost 3 years later for $264. But as I've shared many times, both in the book and on my YouTube channel, I buy Norris Drive for $107. I put 20% down. We're going to call it 20K. It's just over 20K, but for this example, we'll call it 20K. It rents for $1,100, and my cash flow at the time was about $225 a month, between $2 and $225. We'll call it $225 for today. So again, that was our first deal. If you've read my book, you know that Norris Drive did not turn out well. The first tenant really screwed us. But in the end, I bought it. This is what it was supposed to produce. So you move forward. So in 2004, again, I've told you this story a dozen times, but let's finish it up. I do a cash out refi. I turn Norris Drive into an alligator. I basically do a cash out refi because the bank said they could, and I take out $50,000. They wire me 50 grand, right? Remember, I put 20 grand in, and now they're going to send me 50 grand back. Not even 2 years later. It was about 20 months. Norris Drive becomes an alligator, but I buy 2 more houses. So in mid 2004, when this refi is complete, I buy a house on Terrace and a house on Clinton. Both were about 150. I think one was 144 and one was 148, I think. I'm just going to round them to 150. These were done with 10% down, right? Norris Drive is the only one I bought with 20% down. This is still pre-housing bubble. So getting loans was easy, right? It was called an 80-10-10. 80% first, 10% second, 10% down. When I'm buying these, because they're at higher prices, they don't quite cash flow $200. They cash flow about 150. Right. So Norris Drive is negative. Terrace and Clinton are positive, right? So that first 20 grand is now really 3 houses. Oh, look at that. The first 20 grand is invested. It is now 3 single family homes. Norris Drive is negative cash flow. Norris Drive is negative cash flow. It is an alligator. However, I still have 20% equity because my cash out refi just went to 80% LTV, 80% loan to value. Terrace and Clinton have 10% equity and cash flow. All right. So again, that 20 grand is now 3 units, 20% equity in Norris, 10% in Terrace, 10% in Clinton. And yeah, that's what we're at so far. Next, we sell Norris Drive. I have to get rid of that negative cash flow. I sell Norris Drive on November 4th, not even 3 years later. I sell it for $264. I bought it for $107. I did a cash out refi and the balance was $160. So I have about $100,000 in equity that I 1031 into a 5-plex that I still own today. So again, that 20K got me Terrace, Clinton, and now a 5-plex. It's right. It gave me 50 grand cash out refi, no taxes. Now it's given me 100 grand in equity, and it's going to a 5-plex that I still own. So again, late 2005, I sell Norris Drive. I get rid of negative 300, and I turn that into positive 1,200. These are 2005 numbers. It's a lot more positive today, but these are 2005 numbers. Then about a year later, I 1031 Terrace and Clinton. They both, remember, had only 10% equity, remember 15 grand, where housing is still going up. And I 1031 out of housing, out of houses. And they both have about 100K in equity. So in 2006, Terrace becomes a 10-unit building with seller carry. Yes, I bought a 10-unit building, 100K down, which is what Terrace had. And the owner carried it for, I think, 10 years, but I think I refied out earlier. We get to that in a minute. Again, that same 20 grand is now a 10-unit building with 20% equity and owner carry. And then Clinton becomes a 13-unit building, just bought on the MLS. 2014, I refi the 10-unit building. I pay off the seller. They wanted their money. They needed it. So I did them a favor. And oh, by the way, during my refi, I pulled out an extra 50 grand. And my payment stayed right around the same. So paid off the seller, got a new bank loan, and I put 50K away. In 2014, we also refied the 13-unit building, just a simple rate in term. Simply a rate and term refi of the 13-unit building allowed us to save $900 a month. Again, this is all with that first $20,000. 2019, I sell the 13-unit building to raise cash as the building needed $200,000 in immediate investment, and I didn't want to do it. It was in an area of town that had gone, frankly, downhill, and I took the opportunity to sell at peak pricing. I told you I do this business. I actually been recording YouTube at this time. I told you in 2019 when I did this, and I paid taxes. I paid taxes on my gain and was happy to do it. 2021, we refied the 10-unit building again. We pulled out $150,000 this time. We got a lower rate, but our payment, because we pulled out so much money, went up $400. Our rents have gone up substantially since we purchased, but again, we pulled out more money. This is still that first $20,000. So in the end, that $20,000 was used over and over and over again. It brought in a lot of friends, which I call additional cash, right? Cash out refis, rate and terms, selling equity, things of that nature. We just kept the money moving. So that first 20 grand now produces, let's just call it $4,000 a month in cash flow. It's added over 20 units to our portfolio. It has helped us raise over 100 grand in cash and over 500K in equity in properties we still own today. So again, remember, time in the market beats timing the market. Always a great day to do a great deal. And lastly, if you want to get in this business, one rental at a time is for you. My course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, is the best thing to do. You can also join the private Facebook group with nearly 1,000 members, soon to be over 1,000 members, all doing the work, all doing great deals. It's just the place to be. And to see that it's only $2.99 is pretty ridiculous, not to mention all the bonus stuff. So in the end, I thought I would do a report just like the lumberjack. Again, when you get in this business, it's a little slow in the beginning, but as time goes by, you're going to have options. Something else to talk about is my first couple of refis in 2005 and 6. My interest rates actually went up. Again, it just made sense for what I was doing at that time because I wanted to keep buying. Since then, a lot of the refis have been to lower interest rates or pull equity out. So time in the market beats timing the market. Always a great day to do a great deal, but you're not going to know what a great deal is unless you do the work. I can show you the path, buy box, focus, daily discipline. Buy the course, join the group. I don't know what to tell you. Have fun. Take care.